People don't get addicted to what they fully understand. They get addicted to the question marks, the uncertainty, the silent riddles you never bother to solve. That's what haunts them. You think your presence keeps them close, but it's your absence that chains their mind. Predictability doesn't seduce anyone, it just bores them. When you're always there, always explaining, always pouring out your inner world like it's a public fountain, you strip away the only thing that makes you powerful, mystique. And when mystique dies, so does obsession. They told you to open up, to be real, to share your truth. But every truth you share becomes a handle someone else can pull. Every vulnerability becomes a map straight to your control panel. And every time you perform your emotions, you auction off your power to the highest bidder. That's why the ones who move in silence last longer. That's why mystery isn't a flaw, it's a calculated advantage. Obsession is not born from transparency. It's born from the unknown. The silence between words. The emotional gaps people desperately try to fill. You want to be unforgettable? Start by becoming unreadable. Make them earn your presence. Make them ache for your attention. Don't show your cards. Deal the game and keep your hand covered. When they ask what you're thinking, say nothing. Let the silence thicken. That's where desire grows, in the psychological space you refuse to fill. Power is not in the words you speak, but in the ones you never say. This isn't about being liked. Liked is for furniture and puppies. This is about being unforgettable. When someone can't stop thinking about you, that's power. When your silence echoes in their mind louder than their closest conversations, that's power. Presence should feel like a rare drug. Scarce, potent, unforgettable. And your absence should sting like withdrawal. This is not about chasing attention. It's about becoming the source of it. When they feel your silence more than others' words, you've already won. Scarcity isn't a weakness, it's your strongest weapon. People assign value to what's rare. The moment you become too available, your value plummets. They don't take you for granted because they're cruel. They take you for granted because you're too present. Humans are wired to pursue what eludes them. That's why they chase people who pull back. That's why they crave those who disappear without explanation. You think you're being kind by always showing up, always replying, always making it easy. But kindness without boundaries is a form of emotional suicide. Stop selling your presence at a discount. Start making it expensive. The more silent you become, the louder their mind becomes. They'll start building stories, inventing meanings, replaying every message, every glance, every moment you gave. They'll obsess not over who you are, but who they imagine you to be. And that imagined version is always more powerful than reality. Let their mind do the work. Let it spiral, because in that spiral, you own their thoughts. You want people to miss you? Start leaving. Not with drama, not with noise, just vanish. Quietly, calmly. Walk away without explanation. That's the kind of exit they never forget. You don't need fireworks to be remembered. Sometimes silence explodes louder than words ever could. The power isn't in announcing your worth, it's in making them realize it through absence. If they never have to wonder where you are, they'll never worry about losing you. But when your rhythm breaks, when your presence is no longer guaranteed, the value of your time multiplies. They start to feel your distance like a storm building over calm water. Unpredictable, tense, dangerous. Walk into a room and hold your energy like it's gold. Don't flood the space. Let them earn your attention. Make them feel your time is a privilege, not a default. Don't be consistent with your presence. Be strategic. Be scarce. Scarcity builds intrigue. Intrigue fuels obsession. Predictability kills both. Stop explaining. Stop defending. Stop over-communicating your every move, your every motive. The more you explain, the smaller you become. The moment you feel the need to justify your choices, you already lost ground. People don't respect reasons. They respect results. Power doesn't explain itself. It exists, and others learn to adjust. Explanation invites challenge, but mystery forces submission. When they can't decode you, they can't control you. When they don't know what you're thinking, they hesitate. And that hesitation gives you the upper hand. A leader who moves without revealing intention is feared, because no one knows what to prepare for, no one knows what to manipulate. You become a storm they can't forecast, and that makes you unforgettable. Hold your silence like a sword. You're not obligated to reveal your thoughts. You're not required to expose your reasons. Power is not democratic. It's sovereign. The fewer people who understand you, the safer your position becomes. The more you share, the more leverage you give away. But when you say little and move precisely, they start analyzing everything. Every pause becomes a puzzle. Every glance, a potential message. You become a riddle they can't solve, a question that haunts them. That's the kind of presence that lasts. People say, "I just wanted to be clear." But clarity isn't always power. Sometimes confusion is. Confusion keeps people in orbit. Trying to understand you becomes their obsession. And that obsession becomes your leverage. Use your words like locked doors. Say only what you must. Let the rest stay buried. Let them feel the weight of what you didn't say. That tension, that silence, that's control. That's how you get remembered. Master emotional scarcity. When you feel less, they feel more. The more emotion you show, the easier you are to map. When they know what makes you angry, what excites you, what hurts you, they hold the blueprint. And if they hold the blueprint, they hold you. That's why you never hand it over. Don't perform your emotions like theater. Don't bleed out your pain to people who haven't earned your scars. Vulnerability is currency. Don't spend it where it won't return power. Most people think emotional openness builds connection. It doesn't. It builds exposure, and the exposed are easily manipulated. The ones who cry for attention, who rage for approval, who confess without control, they're giving away the very core of what makes them powerful. But when you stay calm in chaos, silent in betrayal, unreadable in victory, you terrify them. Because silence implies calculation. And calculation breeds fear. You can feel deeply, but you must learn to show selectively. Never react on demand. Never express to prove something. Your restraint will become a mirror to others. They'll project their fears onto your silence. They'll search for signs of warmth, of approval, of guilt. And in doing so, they lose themselves. They chase reactions you refuse to give. And that chase becomes addiction. Stillness becomes a storm when it follows emotion. They expect you to react. When you don't, they panic. Your calmness becomes louder than their chaos. And unpredictability sets in. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know if you care. And that lack of clarity becomes the hook. You're not withdrawing because you're weak. You're withholding because you're in control. Emotion is a weapon. Use it like a sniper, not a fire hose. Smile only when it confuses them. Laugh only when it disarms them. Go silent exactly when they expect outrage. That emotional discipline, that unpredictability, it builds an atmosphere they can't breathe in unless they earn it. That's how obsession grows, in the vacuum you create when you stop giving them what they expect. Every time you resist the urge to explain, to react, to validate, your power sharpens. You are no longer someone to be figured out. You become someone to be experienced, moment by moment, In fragments they're desperate to piece together. Your silence becomes the script they can't finish. And the moment they realize the ending won't be handed to them, they get hooked. That's where the game begins, inside their mind, looping, searching, obsessed. Control the rhythm. Break the pattern. The brain craves predictability, and when it doesn't get it, it locks in. That's what builds obsession. Unpredictability. If you always respond the same way, show up at the same time, behave the same in every situation, you become background noise. Familiar, harmless, easily filed away. But if you disrupt the pattern, disappear after a peak of interest, change your tone when they expect warmth, hold back when they expect intimacy, you trigger chaos. And chaos awakens the mind. People mistake consistency for strength. But consistency is only powerful when paired with unpredictability. Show them calm, then show them cold. Be present, then vanish. Let them think they've figured you out, then rewrite the entire script without warning. This keeps them leaning in, guessing, adjusting. And the more they adjust to you, the more control you hold. You don't owe them rhythm. You owe them presence when you choose it. You don't have to be rude. You have to be unpredictable. That unpredictability becomes your signature. Sometimes you reply instantly. Sometimes you let messages sit for days. Sometimes you show deep attention. Other times you offer silence like a locked gate. Not because you're careless, but because you're deliberate. When everything becomes too easy to anticipate, it becomes too easy to ignore. But when your behavior fluctuates with purpose, it becomes magnetic. Even your energy should fluctuate. Speak less on Monday. Dominate Thursday. Disappear over the weekend. Reappear without warning and without explanation. That inconsistency doesn't confuse the powerful. It consumes the needy. They'll obsess over your rhythm the way a gambler obsesses over patterns on a roulette table. And like the table, you remain unmoved. They'll chase the version of you they once saw, hoping to unlock it again. That's the addiction. That's the loop. They won't fall for your kindness. They'll fall for your complexity. They won't remember how consistent you were. They'll remember how elusive you felt. Your unpredictability creates scarcity. Scarcity creates value. Value creates desire. And desire, when unanswered, becomes obsession. That's the formula. Simple, ruthless, effective. Hold the blueprint. Never reveal what drives you. People can't ruin what they can't read. Your ambition, your pain, your next move. Keep it guarded. The second you share your core, you hand them the leverage to manipulate it. Curiosity will become strategy. Sympathy will morph into advantage. They will take the things you revealed in intimacy and use them as weapons if you ever slip from their favor. We live in a world that fetishizes openness. Speak your truth. Share your story. Be authentic. But raw authenticity without discretion is a shortcut to exposure. Open books are read quickly and then discarded. But encrypted stories, those stay in their minds forever. Be an encrypted book. Speak in fragments. Reveal in riddles. Move without previews. Let them wonder what you want, but never confirm it. Once they think they understand your motives, they start trying to control the outcome. Want love? They'll bait it. Want validation? They'll ration it. Want revenge? They'll tempt it. But if they can't figure out what drives you, if you move with detached purpose, they fear you, because they have no strings to pull. Your motivations should be a private vault. Let them see the structure you build, but never the blueprints behind it. Let them witness your progress, your transformation, your intensity, but not the fuel that powers it. Because if they ever access your fire, They will either try to steal it or extinguish it. Guard it with silence. Don't explain your pain. Don't reveal your traumas. Don't tell them what shaped you, not because you're hiding, but because you're protecting your edge. Power doesn't scream. It whispers. It walks in silence and lets others tremble, trying to predict its path. The people who've left the deepest imprint on your memory weren't the ones who overshared. They were the ones who left questions, the ones who said little, but whose presence shifted the room, the ones you couldn't fully figure out. That's who you must become: intentional, guarded, quiet, elusive. Let others speculate about your desires. Let them guess. Let them get it wrong. That guessing burns mental energy. That obsession grows roots in their mind. They'll say things like, "I can't tell what you're thinking," and you'll smile, because that's the point. They'll say, "You're hard to read," and you'll nod, because you were never written for them. You were designed to be felt, not decoded. When people can't predict you, they can't prepare for you. And when they can't prepare for you, they default to caution. Caution becomes hesitation. Hesitation becomes weakness, and you become the gravity in their emotional orbit. They react while you remain still. That's how power looks. Not loud, not emotional, just unmoved. You can care, deeply. But the performance of that care is a privilege, not a promise. You show it when it adds weight. You withhold it when it adds mystery. That precision makes your emotions valuable. If they've never seen you desperate, they'll believe you never are. If they've never seen you lose control, they'll assume you never do. And that illusion becomes your armor. Even your silence should feel strategic. Not empty, but loaded. A pause that says, "You don't get to access me unless I allow it." That kind of restraint rewires the dynamic. You're no longer reacting to the world. The world is reacting to you. You're not cold, you're controlled. And people confuse the two because they've been trained to expect emotional chaos. So when you move with composure, they assume you feel nothing. Let them, because while they overthink your indifference, you are already 5 steps ahead, silent, watching, untouchable. Never hand them your emotional blueprint. Let them search for the switch that lights you up, the button that breaks you, the fuel that drives you. Let them fail. Let them obsess. And when they realize they can't find it, they'll respect you. They'll crave the clarity you never offer. That's how you build myth. Not by shouting your truth, but by forcing others to study your silence. They'll call it mystery. They'll call it intimidation. But it's just discipline. Strategic scarcity. Emotional encryption. And that encryption becomes legacy. Not everyone will understand you. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to remember you. They will remember the way you left conversations unfinished, how you stared through people instead of into them, how your silences demanded more attention than most people's speeches. They'll remember the way your energy refused to chase anything or anyone, how your lack of reaction forced them to reflect on their own. That's how legends are born, not in visibility, but in psychological gravity. You don't pull people in with noise. You draw them with presence, and you hold them with mystery. Obsession doesn't come from answers. It comes from the question that never gets resolved. What is he really thinking? The moment someone feels they've fully figured you out is the moment they stop being fascinated by you. People don't chase what they understand. They chase what keeps slipping through their mental grip. So you move like smoke, visible, but never catchable. You let them feel you, but never fully know you. That's what builds obsession. Proximity without possession, tension without closure. Don't explain why you left. Don't clarify your silence. Let it echo. Let it haunt. Let it dig into their mind like a puzzle they feel desperate to solve. You don't need to be admired by everyone. You need to live rent-free in the heads of those who took you lightly. Most people think power is something you display, but real power is what you deny. It's what you withhold. The ability to disappear without warning, to remain composed under pressure, to smile when they expect tears, to walk away when they expect you to beg. That's power. And it terrifies people because it exposes their own dependence. When they see that your emotions are not for sale, that your mind is not accessible on demand, that your presence is not guaranteed, they begin to spiral. That spiral is what keeps you unforgettable. Even in love, obsession isn't built on constant closeness. It's built on selective intimacy. You give them a taste, then you vanish. You show warmth, then withdraw. You become a ghost in their memory, flickering in and out just enough to keep them chasing. You're not being toxic, you're being intentional. You're reminding them that your affection isn't a stream, it's a storm. And if they want to feel it again, they better earn it. Powerful people don't perform their emotions for public consumption. They don't tweet their traumas. They don't beg to be understood. They master the art of emotional encryption. They feel, but they feel in silence. And in that silence, they build an aura that others can't crack. You don't need to announce your pain to make it real. You don't need to narrate your ambition to prove it exists. You let your actions scream while your expression stays calm. That contradiction burns into people's memory. It leaves them wondering if they ever really knew you at all. Your unpredictability is not dysfunction. It's design. Predictability breeds familiarity, and familiarity breeds contempt. If they always know what mood you're in, when you'll respond, what you'll say, you become like furniture, useful, dependable, invisible. But when your responses carry tension, when your timing keeps them off balance, when your intentions are unreadable, you become magnetic. They wait longer for your replies. They scan your tone for hidden meaning. They overthink every silence. And that's when they fall into your orbit. You don't break people with force. You break them with confusion. And the most potent confusion is emotional. They thought you cared, and then you vanished. They thought you were done, and then you returned. They thought you were angry, and then you smiled. You keep them chasing a version of you they never get to hold, and the longer that chase continues, the deeper the obsession runs. You must stop thinking of yourself as emotionally available to everyone. You're not a public resource. You are a scarce commodity. Your energy is elite access, and not everyone qualifies. When you move like that, people start to shift how they behave around you. They speak more carefully. They observe more intently. They stop taking liberties with your time and presence because they feel the weight of your absence. That weight is the tax you place on your mystery. Don't let your kindness become routine. Don't let your time become expected. That's the fastest way to be forgotten. You need to cultivate an edge, not cruelty, not indifference, but unpredictability. Let them feel like your approval is earned. Let your warmth be rare. Let your attention come in waves. When you're kind, be unmistakably kind, but never constantly. Consistency is for machines. You are not a machine. You are a phenomenon. You arrive with force. You leave with silence. You leave impressions, not footprints. This is the game of psychological warfare. Not with weapons, but with presence. Not with aggression, but with distance. You teach people how to treat you not by what you tolerate, but by what you withhold. The man who doesn't flinch is the man they fear. The one who smiles while pulling away is the one they never stop chasing. And when they realize they can't provoke you, can't control you, can't access your core, they become obsessed with unlocking the door you never even confirmed was there. You don't owe them closure. Closure is a luxury. You owe them your growth, your distance, your silence, your resilience. Your presence isn't a gift for everyone. Your emotional access isn't a reward they get for simply existing. Let them earn it. Let them question if they ever really had it. That's what lingers. That's what hurts. That's what makes them check your name in a quiet room at 3 a.m., hoping for a message that never comes. And when you do return, don't explain. Don't overcorrect. Let your reappearance feel like lightning. Sudden, electric, unstoppable. Say little. Move deliberately. Let your new silence speak louder than your past presence ever did. If they ask where you went, say you were watching. If they ask why you're different, say you evolved. And then say nothing else. Because the ones who chase mystery will always crave what you refuse to define. They'll chase what they can't predict. They'll crave what they can't control. And that craving is your leverage. You don't owe the world your transparency. You owe yourself your power. So move like someone who knows their worth. Speak like someone who understands the price of every word. Disappear like someone who knows they'll be remembered. And return like someone who never left, because in their mind, you never did. They chased because they couldn't predict you. They remembered you because they couldn't replace you. That's not an accident. That's strategy. That's silence turned into power. That's distance sharpened into desire. That's how obsession is created. Not by being always present, but by being unforgettable.